Hello everyone. You'll have to excuse me, I'm sick. Most of you that will be watching this video right away already know me as Jonathan Rangel. Hello everyone. For those of you who will hopefully eventually come to see this video, I'm a film student and a member of my community, and I'm really starting this video series just because I can't stay silent any longer. Our world, our nation has changed in a way that alarms me, and I feel it is my duty as a citizen to speak out. Now, I've been very careful not to involve myself too much in the past, trying to maintain a balance between the many people I know, the many different points of view that I've seen, and a lot of people that I know and love and respect are on different sides of these issues. In spite of that, I can't be the middleman any longer. I have to take a stand. I have to be able to share my beliefs and my thoughts just as everyone else is doing. This is just my part. Now, I need to say that these thoughts, these concerns are my own. Many of you know my family, my parents, who you know as good people, as loving people, as tolerant people. And so, I just want my own words and my own actions to be judged as my own and not to be taken as a blanket statement for the entire family. But for those of you who this may come as a shock, some of my views and expressions, I'm not attacking you, but I am voicing my concerns and hopefully opposing ideals and policies that I think are highly negative for our nation and for our world. And so without any further ado, let's talk about Trump. I know that most of the people I see that I talk to are very concerned about him. I think I'm still in shock. Personally, I voted for Hillary Clinton. I was prepared to support either of the Democratic candidates. However, I did believe that she was fit for the job. And personally, I was really ready for a female president, just personally. And if that says something about me, well, then that's a very clear illustration of who I am and what I think. Although if Bernie would have not won the nomination, I would have supported him as well. And there's just so many issues that of why I would vote Democrat, and that I believe that right now they're the party that best represents the people that I know and care about, and myself, and where I think that for the foreseeable future, their policies would take us to better places as a nation. Now, there's 1,000, I know that opens up a can of worms for a lot of you that know me, but I'd like to address each and every one of those issues one by one. That's why I'm going to be making about one or two of these videos per week, and we'll just get through it. Now, I do want to be open. I'm going to leave the comments open on this YouTube video. Please comment. I imagine it'll be a very manageable amount of comments at first, and so I'll happily reply to each and every one of them. Hopefully that won't be the case. Hopefully there's more than just a handful of you that will view this in the future. But let's talk about this. And because ultimately I don't want to just express my voice, and I think that there's something that I can share and say that maybe might change your mind. And for those of you that already have the same opinion as me and are out there and are feeling very afraid, I just want to say that I want to be there for you. I mean, there's some of you across the whole nation that hopefully will one day see this, and I can't get to you physically, but the only thing I know how to do is to make films. I'm a student filmmaker. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to do everything in my power with what skills that I have, with whatever intellect I have, to support you during this time. A time where maybe you won't get very much support. In a time where you may face much persecution. And it goes against my beliefs to see someone downtrodden and not try to stand up and help them in any way that I can. And because I can't physically be there, well, this is just the best that I can do for now. And so this is what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to include links in this video that will take you to hotlines in case you're being harassed right now because of the incoming administration. I think it's important. Many of you may have already seen these, but it bears repeating. If you feel like you are being, if hate crimes are being done against you in any way, shape, or form, you have the right, and you must let someone know. You must let the authorities know, let people around you know. Hopefully you have a support system, but if not, reach out, because you're not alone and you shouldn't be. So it's time now to let your voice be heard now that so many are shouting. My first very big concern is how many that are in Trump's company that are becoming part of his cabinet, especially Steve Bannon, that refer themselves as the alt-right, which by now is like pretty much synonymous with neo-Nazis. And until they even try to, say anything to the opposite, that's just the way that we're going to see it. And that's the thing. I mean, where are they even, despite Fox News trying to plead their case, where are they trying to dispel their own articles and headlines, their own words? Where are they trying to dispel them in order to make us feel safe and comfortable, to make sure that we're not literally living in the repeat of World War II, of the rise of Hitler? They can only be against everyone and only for themselves. And so for those of you who voted for Trump, if you really are still, even now, confident in him and the people he's choosing for his cabinet, I would implore you to go out of your way to those around you who are feeling upset, afraid, and show facts about why you think these people coming into power are not going to oppress the people around you. Maybe lend your support, because I have to believe that perhaps you voted for Trump for economic reasons, because you think he's a good businessman, because you think he's going to, raise the economy and create a better medical system than what Obama fought to do. If you believe he's just going to do good for everyone in the nation, well then, find those facts and share them. But right now, myself included, it's a scary time for the things they're saying, the way that they're talking. It's not good. That's what's coming to my heart right now, is if you have voted for Trump, some of you feel you are being gracious despite some of the protests, which were, fair and legal and within our right for those that did go. And despite the recount, because there was a call to arms when, computer scientists said they felt there was a possibility of fraud. So at this point, the recount is more just about protecting the legitimacy of our system, of the voting process, and making sure, despite all points leading to Trump still maintaining the presidency, because that many people did vote for him. Despite those things, I would encourage you and implore you to remain patient and gracious and reach out to those around you that are feeling afraid. If you really feel, a citizen of this country, you really care for it, you feel like you made the right decision in voting for Trump, please turn to your neighbor and lend a helping hand and just reassure them, and as best you can, according to your conscience, according to your belief system, I would implore you to do all you can to be upstanding in this. Now, one other thought I'd like to share before I cut is, as much as I hope to fight for everyone that feels afraid and persecuted in this time, we all need to join and band together. You'll see me posting some art here on this channel I want you to join me in sharing your art as well that has to do with what we're going through, and hopefully we can even become collaborators. I would love to work with you, and now's the time. That's what helped the world get out of culturally. That's what helped the world recover from dictators is good, true art that just comes from the heart and helps scrape at the darkness with light, with personal fire, with passion, and with love. And that's what I want you to join me on. If you're watching this, I'll do everything in my power to help share your works of art as I share mine. And I think we need to do this together. But as I'll do everything in my power to fight for you, I want you to join me on one more thing and really look to Standing Rock. I myself am not in a financial position to donate very much to them. I know it's getting even harder. I don't even know if I think it may be beyond a point of monetary support at this point because it appears as though their local government is pretty much pulling the kill switch and making it impossible for them to stay, which would mean that the pipeline will be built and inevitably their water supply will be contaminated. In the event of this, I hope this will spur an even further outcry of both support and perhaps a little bit of constructive anger against the forces that have really enforced this, that have caused this to happen, this pipeline to be built. I want us to join together and support the Native peoples of America. They're really the First Nation people. They were the first nation that was here. This is still their land. Many of them live on reservations, but that wasn't the land, that was their home. And so being away from it, the First Nation people still scrambling to get itself together because it's really still being oppressed. And in this nation, I believe America is still a nation where an oppressed people can raise up and be prosperous. We've seen it happen in increments. And I really want to see it continue to happen for every race, culture, and gender that has ever been oppressed, for them to have the opportunity to prosper in this nation. I think it should happen. I think it can still happen, but it will take unity. But I'm going to provide a lot of emphasis on the First Nation people because I do believe that they at times get forgotten. I myself have a fair measure of almost half of my lineage is First Nation. And so it is personally to me, but I believe that as we support the First Nation people, the whole nation will prosper. I don't know if everyone could believe in such a thing as a generational curse, but I do. And I think that the wrongs done against the First Nation people, if they aren't corrected, if these people are never supported and never allowed to prosper, we almost invite some calamity unto ourselves. I think that's part of why, while we come close to really bonding as a nation and as a people across lines of culture, race, or gender, something pulls us back apart. And we're definitely being pulled apart now. And for the personal gain of those higher ups. But I think if we join together for the good of the First Nation people, that will change. I think that's the last piece of the puzzle because they're missing from that conversation, they're missing from our lives, and they're missing out on their own lives. If we bring them in and bring them to the table and give them opportunity, it'll help unlock our own futures. Now, before I close out, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you made it through this whole video, I know it's going to be a little long. I'll be posting much more in the future. Please join me in conversation. Please comment. I'll have links for Twitter and Instagram and Facebook in the description of this video. Please check those out. They're all going to kind of have the same kind of material on them, just to kind of branch out this very small, tiny movement. But if you'd like to argue with me, please do. I'm kind of interested at this point. And if you feel the same way I do, well then please tell me. Let's join up. Let's move together. Let's do this. I just feel this is something I have to do at this point. This is something I have to share with you. This is something I have to get off my heart. I wake up every morning with this feeling in my chest, and I just have to talk it out with you. Let's talk together, and let's do something. Thank you. Please like and share. Subscribe if you can, just to keep this going. And thank you.